Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
It's going, man. This is the part of the podcast where we pretend where we haven't been talking for the last hour plus minutes. And we say
Almost 2 hours. That's we missed last week, so it makes sense that we're catching up for 2 hours.
Catch up, had to warm these dulcet tones up for you, the listening audience.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's up, man? What's going on?
Just hanging out, doing a thing. I guess I don't know, just chilling.
Just sitting back on the porch, reading through, thumbing through the pages of your new published book.
Not yet. Well, it's not published. It's in the Kickstarter.
Oh, damn it!
Right now.
You said that, and I just jumped ahead.
I'm sorry. I meant the Kickstarter is out right now. It'll be published at the end of the year, but Kickstarter's going pretty well. So if anyone's interested, I might as well give you it's a really simple, easy link. I should have asked. Actually, I should have asked Josh to write it down in his little thingy.
I mean, depending on the name of the book, it may not fit on my little thingy.
It's tiny URL.
It went over your head.
URL.com. Oh. Before we're talking.
Oh, sorry.
About how
I have to give myself.
No.
There you go.
Well, Josh was talking about how he's been quite the jokester lately and popping off a bunch of jokes at people, and he's been funny. He's been a funny dude lately, so he's showing it off again tonight.
Sometimes a great punchline to not the best audience for the punchline, but
for the punchline. But you had some jokes. It wasn't just that one. You had other jokes as well.
Yes,
So
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
But no, you are part of another anthology, Mr. Writer Man. Good with grammar and spelling.
Yeah. Hardly, but I appreciate that. Yeah, it's called Fairy Tales, Folklore, and Fables Reimagined. It's a 2-volume anthology. I am in both volumes, which is very kind of the guys publishing it, or I guess, Mark's Pile, good friend
Push.
of the show.
Kind of like Push.
He did kind of like Push. Hey, Push. So he was very kind to allow me to write 2 stories, and I have 2 stories in this anthology, which you can find if you want to contribute. We still have about 22 days left to go as of July 23rd. 2024. So if you're listening to this in the future or in the past somehow,
I mean, let's be real. Most people are going to hear this in the past. Nobody knows about this podcast.
But go to tinyurl.com/anthology3. Really simple URL. tinyurl.com/anthology3. It'll get you to the Kickstarter. And yeah, we've already beat our goal. We had $1,000 goal, so we've already surpassed it by 4 times plus. And we still got 22 days to go. But with it, you get a bunch of bonuses, a bunch of extra goodies.
And one of the goodies is actually instead of getting 2 of Francis' stories, it's just a centerfold picture of him.
No, thank God I'm not thank God I'm not the center of attention of this anthology. As a matter of fact, I think there are authors who have been at it for a while, who are established authors who have contributed stories, and they were kind enough to add some stories on there. But they have their own audience. So if anything, you'll get a centerfold of them on a a la I can't even think of it. The movies the guy was in. Burt Reynolds, a la Burt Reynolds. He's just on a tiger on a carpet. You know that one picture where he's
I do know that one picture. I have PTSD from that fucking picture.
You get one. Maybe I'll get them as a centerfold. Who knows?
My grandmother, my grandmother had Burt Reynolds' centerfold from Playgirl blown up to poster size and fucking framed in her goddamn living room. Like
I think everyone
hung behind like a rolling bar that we used to play bartender at. But before that, we had to cover up Burt Reynolds' dick because, you know, if you're the patron at the bar
I think
as a child, you don't want to look up and see fucking the bandit's dick looking down at you as you drink your mock cocktail.
Luckily, I believe he did show it off, but I think the famous one, the one that people do normally post, is the one where he's covering it with his hands. So you just get to see his pubic hair. You don't get to see the actual business. But
well, I wish I had fucking grown up seeing that one instead.
That would have been better. There was hey, it's better than this one DJ that I used to listen to. He had a naked picture of OJ in his bathroom, so you got to see OJ's just gigantic thing in his bathroom.
That's weird on so many different levels. Like I don't even know where to start there. That is very weird.
And he got the painting. He got the painting post, you know, the whole trial and everything. So it was after he was already like infamous.
I mean,
it's kind of funny.
That does definitely top me having his, you know, OJ's full name and signature, you know, written on something.
No, the signature's better than.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, as far as like rarity goes, like you could argue, you know, a naked picture of fucking naked painting of OJ and his fucking and his cock, or a receipt from a satellite company that doesn't exist anymore, and his, you know, credit card he used to use at one point.
See that, but that's the better one because it's rarer.
Well, I'll wait. I'll throw it up on like the Meekum auction website or something. See what happens.
Just make sure it's framed in a nice frame.
It's
nice
true.
Portrait frame or whatever.
Yeah, like vacuum sucked. You know.
Yeah. You have it sealed, laminated. Have it laminated. Then, you know, placed on a thing. But anyway, go check it out.
It's bag and boarded.
Contribute to the book because it'll come out by the end of the year. I think that's the goal, is the end of the year. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to write. If you like fairy tales, that are more not adult in the sexy way, just adult in like
the Andrew Dice Clay way, or like, you know.
Yes, the Andrew Dice Clay way. Yeah.
Jack and Jill went up the hill. They both had $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Ooh. Little boy blue. He needed the money. Oh. What else were good ones? I'm distracting. Go ahead. Shill.
No, yeah. Oh, then I'll just, the last time, tinyurl.com/anthology3, and your contributions will be greatly appreciated. So thank you.
It would be, because I like Francis getting to do things that he likes to do. So buy the book so he can do more of that stuff.
Oh yeah. If it does well, I'll keep doing it. If people like it, I'll keep going.
Yeah. Specifically, get the book and then write a review about Francis' 2 story.
Oh, that too.
The rest of the book is great, but this Francis motherfucker.
I only ever, I think in the last anthology, I think I was brought up in the about 2 or 3 dozen reviews. I think my name was brought up twice as positive. They're like, oh, okay, like cool. I like this guy's story. So it happened twice. I like to see at least 5 times this time around.
We're going for 5 likes on this next book, everybody.
5 likes with Jesus my name Christ on it. I'll be a happy camper. Just 5.
Hey man, I get it. I totally get it. Like to have anything with your name attached to it, pretty awesome.
Because apparently, like when you were doing your Denver your Denver gig, Fan Expo,
Yeah.
Moderating, yeah. You could have solicited the audience to leave you a review of your moderating skills so that they ensure that you come back again next year. Even though you're guaranteed, I mean, the person who's got you likes you, so I'm sure you'll be fine. But,
yeah, I mean, speaking of which, actually, I because the Ghost Machine feedback, the one that didn't go well, the panel that didn't go well. My contact had mentioned that he received weird feedback, and I never followed up with him on it because I think he's off for like the next month or something like that, and I wanted to settle back into home and enjoy his time. But the other day I did ask.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I said, what was the weird feedback? I'm curious. And he replied back to me, and it was all positive. And at the end of the paragraph, basically, he said, at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm not concerned. You did a great job. Like, well, that's all I needed to hear. Someone said I did a great job. So,
I mean, that's
whether
good.
I'm back or not is irrelevant. Someone told me I did a great job. If they gave me a little scratch behind my ear, that would have just sealed the deal for me. Handed me a Scooby snack.
Pat you on the head.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, so get the book. Go to that tiny URL.
Oh yeah.
Do that thing. Do it before, death takes you. Because
how morbid is that?
I don't know. I couldn't think
I know why you're doing it, but I find it really funnily morbid.
I didn't know where to go, man. There's pressure.
I understand why you did it. I understand why you went that way.
But anyway, well, it's because you kind of know the outline of how tonight's going to go. But yeah, Death had a Groupon in the last week and a half or so, I think, because or like the scythe, the blade was really wide and just took out a whole bunch of people. And amongst the list, which that we know of, that we did quick research on, Richard Simmonds, Shelly Duval, Bob Newhart, and Shannen Doherty, and Dr. Ruth, who I thought was 109 years old when I was a teenager. So I didn't even know that she was still
like 90 something, right?
Yeah, like Yoda old.
Yeah.
And it's just, I always thought, even back when I was a teenager, like, she's a sex expert. Who was fucking Dr. Ruth?
Well, it was during her. I mean, yeah, that's true. Because when she was big in the 80s, she looked like she was in her 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she aged poorly. Sorry, Dr. Ruth. You aged really poorly. But she was like a horny German lady. So maybe people found that hot.
Yeah, it's just weird. Just weird that, like, all through the 80s, maybe even the early 90s, early 90s, she was like a celebrity. She was on the Hollywood Squares. She was on David Letterman talking about this and that, making David all uncomfortable. It was great.
Her name wasn't even... Her name wasn't even Westheimer. It was Siegel. Liar. 96 years old, though.
I mean, good for her.
Good life.
Good for her.
Yeah.
But amongst that other on that list, Richard Simmonds, who became kind of a hermit, I guess, in the last few years. I don't know. I mean, again, someone who used to be everywhere. Another Hollywood Squares person, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, and just, I don't know. I'd never looked up what all these people died from. I just know they're not here anymore.
I know. Look, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, most of them is old age anyway.
Sure,
really.
sure. I mean, Shannen Doherty,
But
pretty
for
young.
Richard Simmonds, oh yeah, she was the youngest. But yeah, no. For Richard Simmonds, look up the Whose Line Is It Anyway stuff with him if you want a good laugh.
Indeed.
That's one of the funniest stuff there.
I would also say if you're looking for,
she was only like 50 something.
Late 40s, early 50s, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you also want to laugh with not a lot of context attached to it, but a laugh all the same, the last 10 minutes of the Newhart show is really good as well.
It's only funny to people who knew the other Newhart show.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
Because if you don't know why he's like, why did he wake up this lady? Like, what is the point of any of this? You have to have seen you have to have seen this other show.
That's true, I guess, or at least be aware of it. I suppose.
Yeah, he started the whole so many people have copied that whole thing. Most notably, Breaking Bad copied the ending of the Newhart show, where Walter
he was
White
in Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Really?
Yeah. There's an alternate ending. Go watch it, of him waking up as Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, and telling what's her face, I forget the wife's name, but explaining to her I had this terrible dream where I ran a meth empire, and he just goes through the whole thing like the Newhart show. So, but it's very funny if you know Malcolm in the Middle and Breaking Bad. It's a very good.
Sure. So I guess my statement of not knowing the context would still be funny. I guess it wouldn't be, but I loved it. I remember seeing it as a kid, aware of the prior. What the fuck was the prior show called? Bob Newhart show? Bob. What was the one with the N? What was that one called? Newhart.
Just Newhart.
And then it was the Bob Newhart show, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't really watch the Bob Newhart show. I was aware of it. I knew it existed. I'd probably seen snippets here and there. But for that last episode to go back and have them dress the set exactly the way it looked, have it lit almost exactly the same way, that was comedic genius.
Yeah, and bringing back the wife from that show.
That was great.
It was such a smart move. He was a funny dude. I liked his comedy. I listened to his. I forget. Spotify, I think, has his comedy on their comedy channels. So if you ever want to hear, kind of
long older storytelling,
it's fun. Sort of, yeah. He has some stories, but they're funny. He's very wholesome.
It's just long form. All his jokes are long form.
You'll also hear Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita, do stand up, which you would never have known he did stand up before.
I've seen it.
Mr. Miyagi / Al from Happy Days.
Yes. It was good though. Very
it was good.
I mean, it's definitely for the time, he made a lot of jokes about being Japanese in America, and
exactly. I was gonna say it was a lot of that.
Just because of the time. It was 20 years after, 30 years after World War II.
Yeah, it's the 60s.
20
years. They're new to having they're not new to having Japanese people in the U.S., but it's not like it's been that long. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So and then we lost olive oil. The only olive oil I'll accept.
Yeah, or the wife in The Shining.
I mean, fair, but she was olive oil. I love Popeye. I love Popeye. Okay.
The weirdest movie you'll ever
Oh,
watch, if you ever watch.
indeed. By far one of the weirdest movies ever. And what's crazy is that the set that you see the whole movie take place in didn't exist before they built it. And it still exists, and people moved into the houses that they built.
Weird. That's such a weird.
It's weird. It's Robin Williams with big, gigantic pieces of styrofoam on his arms to make him look like Popeye. And that, talking in that weird voice with his hair dyed like bronze or blonde or what. I think it's supposed to be blonde, but it doesn't look like it. Shelley Duval looking just like olive oil.
Yeah.
I mean, who else are we gonna cast as olive oil? Like, who else looks like a piece of spaghetti with hair?
During that time, no one.
Exactly. Maybe Cher.
No one. I don't know if. No way. No way. But if it's streaming anywhere, go watch it. But if it's not streaming anywhere, Red Letter Media does a really good kind of review of it because of Shelley Duvall's passing. So they kind of do a review of it, and it's pretty funny how they point out all the weird little things in that movie.
There are quite a few. If
you want to watch that. Yeah.
And then we've talked about everybody. Shannen Doherty. I mean, she was in Scream, Mallrats, 90210. Yeah.
I was like, that's what she's mostly known for.
Yeah, I mean, the three things that she's mostly known for, I think I just spit them out, in reverse order.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean I mean, she was definitely one of them people as a young teen. You're like, oh yeah, and then you hear that she's feisty in real life. You're like, yeah. Then they play on that in Mallrats. You're like, oh, I get it. But yeah, apparently a nice person. I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, those are the only three things I know about her. And
she didn't really do too much after. Like, she just kind of went away,
right? Wasn't she in Charmed?
She did.
No, that was Alyssa Milano or something.
I think it was Alyssa Milano. Oh, no, Shannen Doherty was in there. You're right, she was in there.
Okay.
And then they replaced her with someone else, I think. But
all right, well.
There's a movie coming out, or she may have had a movie come out called. So she's been doing stuff for every year for a while. TV, movies. Good for her. Good for her. That she kept working. Yeah, but so sad to see too many celebrities, especially her. She was so young. So many celebrities to just go all at once like that.
Especially the people that you grew up with, watching on TV, or they were some sort of celebrity, or they were some weird old lady talking about sex. It's all these it's just people that you are part of your childhood, part of your younger years. Either way, it's sad to see all those people go. That's all. Just a reminder. Just a reminder of what's to come, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think the next big ones to go. I mean, it's gonna be wild, but it's gonna be weird when they do, right? Are people like Jim Carrey or like? I mean, they're not old enough yet.
Right.
They're only in their 60s, but we'll be young enough. We'll be at an age where we'll see more of our like celebrities that we grew up with just passing away. It's like,
yeah.
It's so sad.
It's sad and scary all at the same time. When death shows up at your door, you hope that he doesn't have the scythe in his hand and he just pulls out a 3 to 4 inch knife and doesn't have a very good aim.
Jesus. Dude.
It's the night of awkward transitions, I think.
It's okay.
I like to pretend that I don't like to talk about work on here. And sometimes there's episodes where we don't talk about whatever work things, but sometimes it's inevitable and it's going to happen. And here's one of those times. We protected a little bit of kayfabe, as we do. So, in my job of escorting people, I offered to escort this young lady. And
so wait. You're saying you're a male escort? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
I am a male, yes, that escorts people, usually to an office they don't want to be in, but I'm in the job of escorting people, you could say. So I when I jumped out to offer my escorting services to this young lady, something in my brain said, you should grab her wrists instead of her arms, and you should just do that this time around, as an offer of friendship. And in the excitement of offering my friendship to this young lady, she kind of backed herself into a door and then unfolded, as I stated, somewhere in between a 3 and 4 inch blade, and didn't want my escorting services. Now, a million things ran through my brain, most of which included disarming and judo throwing, body slamming, suplexing said young lady. But I also want to keep my job of escorting people. So I let training take over and disengaged from the situation. But it's all fun and games. This job has been all fun and games. Even in the moments of excitement that we have, it's been all fun and games. All fun and games.
Yeah.
Changes when there's a really sharp knife about 3 inches from your chest and you're fighting the blade away from your chest. A little different. Kind of puts things into perspective a little bit. But despite all that, still having fun. Don't know how to get out of that. Don't really have a whole lot. Don't have an ending to that. Because the person didn't get stopped.
I mean, well, it's a life harrowing scenario you're in.
Yeah.
Someone wanted to put 4 inches into you, which is something.
I mean, usually I would, I'd be all for that. But, this was metal.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
I just tried to make a sex joke. I
did too.
Oh, okay.
I made an attempt, but because she was trying to put 4 inches in you. That's my
yeah. Well, I said I'd be all for that, but
Yeah. So we both did the joke.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
We did all right. No, that's tough. I've never found myself in a scenario where I've only ever had tangentially had a gun pointed to my head, but only because he was trying to shoot the guy behind me.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's a little different. I happened to be in the way of the gun, but the guy was in a car. There was another guy walking down the street. It was very race war. And I just happened to be walking between the guy in the car, and the guy in the car pulled out a gun, pointed right at me, but was obviously, because it went past me and towards the other guy, but he pointed at me first before going to the other guy as he drove out of a parking lot and attempted to intimidate.
He pointed at you and went, "Oh, not all brown people look the same. I want that brown person over there."
Well, luckily, him being Mexican and I looking Mexican enough, even though I am not, probably saved my life as he tried to go for the two African American men. That were walking.
Well, I don't know.
Yes. No, I'm just saying.
But that's good though.
It could have been the other way around. Very true. Given the situation, it could have been the other way around. But yes, it was very Yeah. So that's the only time I've ever felt like my life was threatened.
You quickly look at him. No, Essay. Hey, Vato, no.
Hey, what up, Holmes?
Exactly. Oh, same team, man. Same team.
Oh man, my Speedy Gonzalez would have been just like there.
Yes. Just mouth off. Just an entire
my way out.
fucking restaurant menu.
Hey, taquito. Yeah, okay.
Oh shit. Oh god damn, that was racist as fuck. That was funny. That was funny. It's hot in here. Oh, I'm crying a little. Oh, it's funny. Oh shit. Oh, that's funny. Well, that should be. That's a good way to end a fucking serious part.
Yeah. You're alive. You're well.
Yes.
Didn't body slam anyone.
The thing was, I was on the phone with dispatch, and I won't call the county out that I was in, but the county doesn't respond to us typically when we say we need them. But eight vehicles of varying, mostly all SUV types, but 8 vehicles arrived down a skinny little driveway in movie stop and spread out, just like the movies and TV. It was quite impressive. And then one of them ran up to me and kept touching me and spinning me around to make sure I wasn't punctured anywhere and just running on adrenaline.
Just wanted an excuse to touch you.
I mean, look at me. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, which I thought was rather nice of them. You know, to make sure that but yeah, it was, that was exciting. And all the other stuff that I deal with, like, is exciting in its own category, but like this was a whole new, we were talking earlier before we hit record about adrenaline and being able to decompress and all of that. It's that one was hard to decompress from. Was I unconscious? Push is asking. No, I was totally conscious, quite aware. I just had to fight for a split second, a knife away from my chest before I said, I'm going to get away from this situation. And let my partner know, who was running up behind this young lady, because he said, he needs assistance in escorting this person. Yeah. So he didn't get attacked or stabbed. I made sure to call out that there was a knife. And yeah.
Again, I mean, look, I'm glad you're okay. You know, it's a good story to tell, at least, to be like, hey, I've been in this scenario. You know, I'm sure you'll find yourself in similar scenarios in the future, given your line of work.
You know, one that we won't be, neither one of us will be finding ourselves in this particular week, Francis, is San Diego Comic-Con week.
It is.
We had a good 4-year run. I think it was 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 4. No, at least 4. I think.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
At least 4. Yeah.
We had a good 4-year run. You know, I'm glad we got to experience it. I would love to go back. Love to go back, especially at in the same kind of access that we had prior.
Yeah.
And it was also it was really nice because my extended family, well, not extended, just the extended relatives. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I was going to say they're kind of your immediate family.
I guess they are the immediate family. They just live in California, where we're all from originally.
They're extended because they're far away from you. Yeah.
But it was always nice to come in a day or two early and visit with all of them and get to see my elderly grandma and whoever else was around. It was great to see everybody, and then get to spend the weekend with my friends and extended Comic-Con family. of, that came in from wherever for the big, arguably one of the biggest shows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, each year that we haven't been there since, it's been a little sad to see all the commotion and see who's all there and jealous that we can't be there in the masses, going to weird cafes in downtown San Diego, and our favorite bar is now closed, officially closed.
Is it really?
Yeah. I looked it up the other day just for shits and gigs, and it's closed now.
I hope that guy is fine.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, that bartender, he was cool. But yeah, it's just it's a crazy experience. I think if you're interested in Comic-Cons, it's definitely something you want to try and get to. But Jesus, you need to go. You need to go 2 years in a row just so you can actually experience it. Because the first year you're just like this. It's for 4 days. That didn't work very well for audio people. Imagine a surprised face looking around in amazement.
Well, I mean, not to toot your horn, but your continued participation and activities with Fan Expo could be the clout you need.
It's true.
To push on San Diego is all I'm saying. Because I mean, people who do those types of moderations and stuff at one convention, especially one that is now a known one, a big, because Fan Expo is now a known convention versus what it was originally.
Yes.
That could get your foot in the door to where you could staff something like Comic-Con International, because that's kind of how our mutual friend, I guess Jalou or whatever, a right cow left coast. He does. I don't know if he still does, but he did the anime panel rooms. He moderated. He didn't moderate them, but he looked after them for Comic-Con International, which is WonderCon and San Diego Comic-Con. So he goes because he volunteer works at those two ones, because that's his expectation. So technically, given your building clout and building resume,
yes,
that could be your.
I mean, look, we'll cross that bridge next year when when the bridge opens, and we'll walk up to the toll booth. We'll walk up to Toll Booth Willie, and I'll whip it out and be like, "Look, it's impressive, isn't it?"
I would recommend trying for WonderCon next year, trying to do a panel for WonderCon and see if they let you in, and be like, yeah, of course, yeah, sure. Yeah. WonderCon it is. Toss you in there. We'll pay for your, we'll pay you to be a WonderCon staff member and do panels and stuff. We'll get you a room.
That'd be shit. You said the R word. I mean, if that came with it, then I'd be there. Because that's always the biggest hurdle with all of these out-of-state things.
Well, and San Diego Comic-Con has been, and I know they talk about it all the time, but I think it's truer now more than ever, are talking about moving to Las Vegas because hotels are too expensive in San Diego. So they're thinking of moving to Las Vegas for the more accessible, because Las Vegas is just hotels. So you would, for all the attendees who struggle to find a room sometimes, they'll probably have a room if they do it in Las Vegas, and do it in the dome. Do it at the dome.
Yeah, I mean, you could do
the dome.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be the Hall H, quote unquote, dink dink, for sure.
Yeah.
The thing about doing things in Vegas is that it's 117 degrees, and that's warm.
Yeah, because they would do it again in July. Yeah, they would continue to do
Oh yeah, of course they would do it in July. They're not gonna. They might break location. They're not gonna break tradition. Aside from moving.
Yeah.
Imagine all the they're not homeless people. But the homeless people that camp out for Hall H all week, that just make their own little tent city. They have their little tent city there. They camp. They camp for a spot to maybe get into Hall H.
All the families just hanging out with the half-naked pasties girls, soliciting all the casinos. They're just running around boobs akimbo, which is just something, which is just part of San Diego. I mean, part of Las Vegas. Las Vegas just expects this. It's kind of like in the brochure, tits and ass, Las Vegas. Like that's kind of in their thing. So
Las Vegas, gambling, state bird. Whores are available here. Tits and ass are customary. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. One day I'll get to experience that. Hopefully. I was saying the same thing. Yeah, probably. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe whatever that game is where you throw the dice and you try to always bet on black.
Yeah, roulette. Yeah.
Roulette. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was called. That would be my Vegas. Let me do those two things. Let me have like one shot. Whatever I win or not win, just walk away. Just let me throw the dice one time.
Oh, yeah.
Let me bet. I want to bet one time and throw the dice one time.
So craps and roulette. Those are the two things you want to do.
Wait, don't you throw dice and roulette?
No, roulette is you bet on black and then they roll a ball and the ball spins. And if it lands on black, you get double your money.
Oh, no. Fuck that game. I don't want to play that game. What's the one where you bet on black or red or a... Right. But what's the one where you bet on a group of numbers or red or black or a specific number?
So craps is the one where you bet on numbers. I don't think they have a red or black in craps. It's either a certain set of numbers. You have a range of numbers that you bet on.
Oh, well, I'm confused. Maybe it's roulette I want to play. I just want to always bet on black. Whatever game that is. Whatever game that is, that's the game I want to play.
Whatever game Wesley Snipes was talking about, I want to bet.
Exactly.
Whatever that game was, I want that one. Yeah.
And then when they ask me what I want to do, I always bet on black. When you want to cash out, always bet on black.
That'd be roulette.
Yeah. How the fuck do you transition out of that? Yeah.
Usually,
but we're not.
Whenever I have to transition, I usually make up something stupid that's tangentially related to the next topic.
Oh, well, I mean, we've been doing that for just about 44 minutes now.
Yeah, that's true.
What do I have here? Nope. Yep. All right. So we spoke about weird people that choose to be homeless for a week at Comic-Con.
Jeez. Yeah.
I
mean, they're not. They're just. You mean the Hall H guys, right? The ones who.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Hall H, okay. the Hall H homeless.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah.
They don't have a hotel.
They don't.
They literally maybe. I swear, we were there for 4 days, 4 years in a row, and I swear we saw the same, not the exact same people, but same people in the same place for a week.
You're not wrong.
Like, I camped out all week just so I can get into Hall H once and see Matt Smith or whatever.
Right.
The female doctor, whose clearly name is not Matt Smith, but it's the only doctor name I know right now.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people are into weird shit. Some people choose to be homeless for a week to fucking listen to one person talk for an hour.
Sure.
What else is weird? Some people like to lick the insides of the Oreo out and throw the cookie away.
Sure.
Some people like to watch other people eat botulism-filled MREs from 40 years ago. Francis and I, despite not living in the same city or the same state, being a few handful of years apart from each other in age,
yes,
scarily watch a lot of the same YouTube creators and enjoy a lot of the same shit. It's very odd. It's very odd. There's a gentleman on the YouTubes. There's quite a few gentlemen that do this particular thing, but there's the one in particular who reviews MREs from wars past.
Yeah,
it's a good way to sell it. And it's odd because I don't like watching anybody eat, even on a date. I'm really not paying attention when someone's eating. Like, I'll talk to you when you're done eating, sort of thing. Like,
yeah.
I just don't like watching people eat. But if you're gonna open up a MRE from World War I and decide that the hardtack that's inside of it is edible enough to eat, I'm gonna sit and watch you eat that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a MRE from Vietnam known as the Four Fingers of Death. Let's go ahead and warm this up and put it out onto a tray.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Steve, 1989. He is a military vet. I think he was Army. Actually, I don't know. He talks about his time in Iraq, I think.
Does he?
He sometimes mentions, he doesn't talk about it in detail, but he talks about the time when he was out in, like, I've seen a few videos where he talks about it, where he's like, yeah, when I was out in Afghanistan, we ate this, and he'll it's always the same thing. It's always the same types of food. It's always it's not always MREs, but it's usually meals ready to eat. The last video I saw, he ate the food that pilots eat in a tube. So it's all food in a tube.
Oh, like the U2, the U2 plane food?
I think so. I think that's the one where it had like a little orange like nozzle and he would just suck it up. But it's always always food. Usually, he did one survival kit I saw where he did not say, because every video he normally says, he looks at the food and he says, "Okay, nice. Now let's put it on a tray." Oh no, he says, "Now let's put it on a tray." Nice. It says it the same way every single time. There are compilation videos of him saying that phrase for 20 minutes, and it's literally him just saying those words exactly in the same order, the exact same way every single time. Or nice hiss. Oh, nice hiss.
Nice hiss, yeah.
Yeah, he'll say like little. He says it the same way. He's been doing it for almost a decade. Hasn't changed. He doesn't put ads in his videos, which means he doesn't monetize his videos. He does have a Patreon, which I've been tempted to kind of just contribute because I like his videos. So I've been tempted to contribute to his Patreon. He doesn't make that much off Patreon either, and he talks about how much it costs him to buy these old MREs. He's like, "Oh, this one cost me $1,400, and I'm gonna open it and eat it in front of you." Like, you spend $1,400 on that. Just put it on display, like you say you do with your food, just like your old MREs. Put it on display. Nah, I'm not gonna put it on display. I'm gonna put it on a tray. Nice. Like, it's always the same way, and he sounds like a surfer dude.
Oh, totally.
But he's like the smartest dude. Yeah. But he's so smart. Like, he talks about like bacteria. Like he talks about, because he eats like Josh was saying, he eats a lot of old, almost century old food sometimes, and he'll just eat it, right? And he'll just like, I'll just eat it. And I get it. In some instances, he has a microscope, so he'll look at some of the foods that under a microscope to see if it has any bacteria on it, and if it doesn't, he'll eat it. Because it's like, well, there's no bacteria in it. I'll eat it. It's fine. It's stale.
I mean, look, I always knew that sometimes you get a Snickers, or maybe a Baby Ruth or something. I can't think of anything else. Maybe even a Reese's peanut butter cup even sometimes. And you open it up and like there's like this like chalky white shit on the outside of your Snickers. You're like, what the fuck is that? Or, it's kind of white is kind of, coming through the chocolate. You're like, what is that? I learned through Steve 1989. Oh, it's just the fat separating from chocolate. Oh, it's still edible. So it's not going to be as chocolatey as it once was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Now I understand what's wrong with all these fucking Snickers. Rotate your stock, store I bought this from.
Yeah. They will bloom. He'll say, oh, it didn't bloom. Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll just say a lot of the same things. He rarely insults the food, despite how old it is. Mm-hmm. Like, even if it's dust. Like, he ate one, it was I think like a 1900 or like 1901, 1902 Civil War ration, right? And it came in like cubes, and it was gross. It's over 100 years old, and he's like, "This chocolate like tastes like metal, but it's pretty good." Like, is it pretty good? Despite the fact that it tastes like metal.
There was one. It was a fruit cake, a rancid fruit cake. It's got like nuts. The nuts are what rancid. And he'll like take a bite of it and he'll just go, yep, it's rancid. He'll put it down. He's like, yeah, my mouth's tingling a little bit. Wait, hang on. Let me take another bite. He just goes in. He doesn't take a nibble. This guy doesn't nibble anything. He just goes in for it.
He's a bold dude, And
if you think about it, though, at the same time, he's like tempering himself from getting anything by eating shit that's 3 times your age.
Like he has the potential, because he has the potential to be a YouTube star eating gross food and food that could potentially make him sick, which it never. So far, I haven't seen where he got sick.
He's definitely spoken about I'm not going to eat anymore because my mouth is tingling or whatever.
Yeah. Or he'll eat something. He's like, well, I don't feel nauseous and I don't feel like vomiting. So, yeah, it's okay. All right, sure.
Or the ones where he gets, a cigarette pack inside the ration. If it's old enough to contain cigarettes. He's like, oh, nothing beats an unfiltered Camel from 1962.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen him. Yeah, I was like really surprised that he just straight up smokes them.
Yeah.
He's like, and they're old. They're literally worth hundreds of dollars because they're old and they're antique. And he's like, I'll go smoke them. Yeah.
Smooth.
You can really taste that nicotine. Or you can really taste that tobacco.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's odd. Much like, I can't think of what the channel's name is right now. We should have probably written this shit down. But like this couple traveling through Asia eating foods.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dancing bacon. Dancing bacon.
Would you watch Dancing Bacon?
See?
Yeah. So Dancing Bacon is this couple where they don't normally talk. They do speak English. The girlfriend does at least. It's just this really cute, chubby girlfriend, Asian girlfriend, and she always makes like nods and smiles whenever she eats. Oh, Dancing Bacon's hilarious. I love Dancing Bacon.
But like, or any place that goes to a fucking vending machine in Japan.
Yeah, they do that.
There's a white dude. There's a white not English, but American dude that's been living in Japan for a long ass time. That just his whole channel is just going to vending machines. What's his name?
I might have. I
Eric
don't know. I
Eric
might know.
Surf something. Eric Surf something.
I don't.
Okay,
I may
maybe
not
okay.
be.
I was. We were batting 1,000, but never
Well, no,
mind.
I need to see his face because I don't remember all of their
No,
names.
okay. But
um,
it is, I guess, what I'm trying to get some sort of meat out of all this. It's just odd that YouTube has become a very common source of entertainment.
yes,
Like,
it's not Eric Mealtime, is it?
no,
Is it Eric Mealtime? Okay.
no, I don't think so. Is he an English dude or a white guy, white American dude? I mean,
It is. Let's see. It is a white guy.
does he
He's
look
an
like a
older
surfer?
guy. He's in. Let's see. I'm gonna look at it.
I'm sure that's what's it? I don't want to. I can't use the computer for anything.
He looks like an older surfer dude. He has like but he's old. He looks like he's in his 50s. Is that the guy?
Hang on. Images. That's not what I wanted. No, it's because I didn't spell it right.
Eric Mealtime.
Yeah.
That one. If it is him, I haven't watched him. He's one I have not seen. But
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
okay, so it's not 100%. We're not batting at
No,
that.
yeah. I'm not batting 1,000, but it's just odd these weird channels of people eating, which, like I said, I don't like watching people eat, but I am fascinated with Japanese restaurants. The quirkiness of capsule hotels.
Yes.
There's quite a few people on YouTube that just travel to capsule hotels. No audio is spoken. They're just like, I'm staying here tonight in this $15 US capsule hotel that, whatever. And I'm going to go to this restaurant first. It's just that kind of stuff is entertaining to me.
Yeah.
It's much more entertaining to me than like the nightly news.
Well, everything's more entertaining than nightly news. I can't think. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. But I do. Yeah, I'm very much the same in that respect. Like I don't watch people eat as much anymore. I used to watch like this couple who would eat at Disneyland all the time. That's where they ate. They ate at amusement parks. Then there's other like it's usually couples. Sometimes it's individuals. Sometimes when I miss Japan, yeah, I'll watch stuff that are about Japan. But I don't like too much because it makes me really want to go. And I'm like, I can't go yet. Like I can't go to Japan yet. I need to wait. But yeah, no, it's that kind of stuff is fun. And oftentimes when they eat, you don't actually see them eating. You see them get the food. Most of the time, you don't really see them like chewing.
Right.
You see them get the food. You see them try the first bite, and then they just talk about it, and then the meal usually just continues, and they eat, and you don't see them eating, but you see the meal get smaller and smaller. That's how Steve 1989 does it, sort of, is he fast forwards his chewing because he chews. Like that dude does not just like bite, swallow. He chews.
He enjoys it
100 times. Yeah, like he enjoys it. Like that dude masticates.
Yes.
So.
And there's other ones like, have you seen that Tribal People Try?
I have seen that one.
These Pakistani villagers that are just amazed by everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they've been doing it so long that like I'm familiar with it. There's Pakistani villager words I'm starting to understand.
That's the beauty of it. Is you learn you do learn a lot from those videos.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's cool. It's fun. I never thought that it, growing up, especially in the formidable years of TV viewing in the mid 80s, and just being bombarded with, TV viewing. It was a thing that everybody did. To not, I mean, it's still on the TV, I guess, because I'm streaming it through an Xbox, but it's not, I have to sit down at 5 o'clock and watch this for a half hour. The beauty of streaming, I guess, you get to choose. I mean, it's not like this fucking new innovation that I'm just now figuring out or anything, but
No, but it is kind of weird. We're kind of doing what the youth are doing. You know, people of our generation, our age, still watch TV through Netflix, through Hulu, whatever. But I'm more likely to watch YouTube or Twitch. Like I'll watch a streamer for X number of hours, or be on Twitch, or I mean, be on YouTube for an X number of hours and watch their content more than I'll ever go to like Netflix and hunt down for a movie I want to watch. Like, right? Like I'd rather just put it on a YouTube video that's half an hour long that's talking about, I don't know, something stupid, right? Some weird internet drama or a video game or something. A video, I watch a lot of video game reviews. Like I'll just do that for half an hour because there's no XPlay anymore.
I'm the lock-picking lawyer.
Oh, the lock-picking lawyer! Oh yeah, God, that no lock is worth it according to that guy. Like he can pick anything, and sometimes I hate it. It's like here's the $1,000 lock. Watch me open it, punk. It's open. I'm like, God.
I mean, people always ask me when I had my lockpick set, or if I bring it up, they're like, "Oh, did you do that because of the lockpicking lawyer?" I'm like, no. I mean, I had an interest in it before. I'm not gonna say it didn't hurt to be like, "Oh, you know what? That was kind of fun back then."
Yeah.
You know, but it wasn't like the driving force. It was like, shit, pandemic's happening. I might lose my job.
Yeah.
What skills do you kind of possess still that, you haven't flexed all the way?
Yeah. You could have been a locksmith.
I could have been. I could have been a barista. I could have been a locksmith. What else could I have been?
I don't know.
What else did I apply for? A truck driver, but then I remembered I like weed too much.
Oh yeah.
That's
everything's getting automated anyway, so don't worry about it.
That is true.
Sad face.
Sad face. There's only a few things I want to see automated. Like, I can't think of anything right now. I was gonna say like fast food, but that's
no. They stopped that actually. The Wendy's had an AI board for a while that took your order, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna drop it. The person is better." So, yeah.
Wasn't there a Taco Bell that was all AI?
There was a McDonald's that was all AI in like Indiana or something like that.
Like there were people that actually like slapped the burgers together, but everything else was
this one made everything. It made the burgers. It took the order. They had one guy, I think, that just made sure that if anything wrong happened, they could fix it. But it was a fully automated McDonald's.
He was there to make sure that there was enough patties and fries available.
Yeah, make sure CloudStrike didn't tear it down or whatever.
Worldwide IT outage.
I felt bad for the airlines. They had to use whiteboards to tell people where to go for their flights. Whiteboards.
Who has the best penmanship here?
Exactly. Like, oh, well, it's a delay. Oh, who's an eraser?
What does penmanship mean?
Oh, my God. Cursive is no longer a thing, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, I imagine it was hell. I know, again, going back to San Diego, everybody was flying out there in the last 2 weeks. So I wonder how many of our cohorts and friends and extended family had issues getting out there. I haven't checked in with anybody. I could, but I haven't yet.
I'm sure they were fine.
I'm sure they are. It's just, if I make connection, then it's like, damn it, we should be there.
I'm sad because San Diego is getting good again since the pandemic. The last 3 years, it's been marvelous back in Hall H. They're coming back, man.
It's coming back. It's coming back slowly.
We need to go. We need to go.
We do. And we also need to end this thing and leave here. Leave this space because the work beckons at the early hours and I got to participate in an activity that I normally would not say yes to. But I'll save that for some other episode or podcast or something. Francis, where can people find you on the internets if they wanted to do so? Oh, wrong button.
Hey, points. SincereSarcasm.net. The links of the book is there, and all of my socials are there. So go check it out. AKA the other guy.
You should do that.
I don't hear the song. Did you have the song playing?
It's playing. It's just kind of low.
I don't hear it.
Well, before I throw all my stuff out there, you all should go to the YouTube page. Binge watch all of our videos. I bet you there's over 4 hours of videos that you could watch. You could binge watch those. And if you aren't hard at the end of those 4 hours, you should probably call a doctor. Nothing. Wow. Anyway, you can find me at 303 underscore on the 303 underscore ninja on the Twitters, 303 ninja on the Instagram. If you want to hear some more horrible jokes, we'll be back here next Tuesday for more podcast fun. You can email us at the POI Podcast at gmail.com. Twitter is POI Podcast. YouTube is POI. There's some synergy there, but not much. Call, voicemail, text. We'll chat. 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1. That's pretty easy to remember. But otherwise, we'll be back in a week's time for more adventure, more fun stuff to talk about. More bad jokes. Maybe I'll tell the one about Jared Fogle next week. Anyway, we'll talk about next week. See you later. Bye.